now we am boy.
What's up, guys? What's up, guys? What's up, guys? How you doing, guys? I hope you are having a lovely day. Let's just see what we can do about this. Yeah, there we go. So I hope you're having a lovely day. Today, obviously, we're doing a show for the lineup reaction, but before the lineup comes out, I know majority of us are watching United getting slapped. They're getting slapped 2-0 as we speak. As we speak, it's not very good for United. So today's quite a wild show. We've got Hamza today. We've got VatorGames, and we've got Hugo all the way from Jamaica, and Mr. Vator all the way from Canada, and Hamza all the way from England. The panel was supposed to be 7, so people will be joining as obviously we are going through. Welcome back to the show, Mr. Hugo.
Hey, thanks, Patrick.
Yeah. So Hugo, this is Vator underneath you.
Yeah, I've seen Vator. I've seen him. I've seen him before, man. I watch your show. I watch True City Fan.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Big up to you. Hamza, I think, is in the car. So Hamza, there you go, Hamza. Hamza, you can sort of yourself out. Don't worry. The show is gonna stay for a while because we have to wait for the lineup. But I just wanted people to speak on the game and also to speak what we've seen so far, if we are prepared. So let's go to the comments. Big up to you, Daniel, as always, the first one in the comments. Big up to you, McLovin. How you doing, man? Was not green and black. Third kit is rancid. You don't like it. I like it. I'm starting to like it better. What do you think of this new kit? I think we're gonna wear it in this game. Do you like it or you hate it?
You know what? I gotta see it. I gotta see it played, and most importantly, I gotta see a win with them wearing it on. That affects how much I enjoy a kit as well. So I gotta see a win.
Yeah. You know something? I love it. You're gonna buy it. What about yourself, Hugo? Are you gonna buy this?
I love it. I love both the home and away kit so far. Was the third kit leaked? I haven't seen a third kit yet. Because a lot of years I actually end up loving the third kit more than some of the home kits or away kits.
Oh, it's right here. It's right here with us. Bear with me for a minute. That's therefore that. So I think it's after the B. You know the Man City the B. So it's after the B. How you doing, Don't Smoke? How you doing, man?
Man, I'm loving this, man. Shout out to Nine Hag, man.
Nine Hag.
Are they Man United losing now?
2-0.
Come on,
no way.
Bad.
You didn't see it that they're losing and that they are being torn apart. Maguire, majority of the mistakes. Guys, please keep us up to date.
Maguire.
Maguire is useless. I don't understand why he's still captain. Banter FC in full effect. That's obviously Man United is talking about. Okay, let's get on with the show now. I'm gonna start with you, Hugo, because you're next to me here. So I didn't get your thoughts. What are your thoughts for preseason? Are you satisfied? Were you satisfied with preseason? And what did you see in the Community Shield? Did you see any positives that you can take into today's game?
Well, all right, let's start with preseason. I think we had only 2 games. We don't usually have a lot of preseason games. I think a lot of the work that City does in preseason sometimes is not really games. People tend to think that it's the games because there are a lot of things that City does that it's not orthodox, right? I think we do a lot more of our game planning on our training pitch, because that's why we have all these good players. You split them up, you get the game-like situation with our own players there. You tell the opposing team in training what you want from them, how you want them to play, and the other team basically plays contrary to that. Basically, I think that's how Pep gets his players up to speed, because you can never count on what the other team is going to do, right? So I'm not going to take a lot from preseason. I'm not going to use preseason to judge. Over the years, we've had slow starts at times, right? Because I think Pep likes to get into groove in the first 5 to 10 games, right? It's possible that this year we don't drop any points in that period because the games that we have, you understand? Like last year we had a very we had a different type of Spurs team that had something to prove. We were just starting, right? But basically, I think with the 5 fixtures that I see ahead of us, I think we can come out of it with more than 12 points, right? If we even do drop one, I think that might be the most, and we probably don't even lose it anyway. I wouldn't be worried about preseason. Positives from watching the the Liverpool game, the Community Shield game, yeah, there are some positives. I think we still look like the city that that we're supposed to look like. Um, but I think we lost a lot of grit in wide spaces. I really don't think that our wide players are up for playing with Holland. They are not the type that are players that have been looking for him specifically to get him on the ball early. We may not need to knock it around as much going forward when we have the ball, especially in wide spaces, like we usually do. Usually out there, even with quicker players like Sane, Sterling, so on, we really we really used to just get into it in the early days, right? In the early Pep Guardiola days, we used to just get into it. I think we need that type of style with Holland to get him comfortable because he is going to miss. Everybody misses. I don't understand this thing where we try to kill some of our players sometimes when they miss. That means they're getting into the positions. Everybody's going to miss. So I'm not going to kill
Yep.
Erling Haaland for not scoring in the first game. Fact of the matter is, City creates between 15 to 20 chances, goal attempts per game on average. That means Erling Haaland is going to score hat tricks regularly. You understand? And if he
Yep.
falls short, that's still a brace. I'm not
Yep.
expecting anything less than Erling Haaland, if he's fit, to score more than 25 goals in the Premier League season. I don't. I know the player. I'm not going to talk this rubbish about he was playing in Germany and Germany that they don't defend and whatever. No, that's absolute nonsense. That's just fans trying to hype the Premier League more than whatever. And Haaland is a world class player. I can tell when players can play no matter where they are. Patrick, you know I'm a Kulusevski fan. I've been saying
Mm.
Kulusevski can play in the Premier League
Yeah.
for about 2.5, 3 years now, right? And he has come in and he's doing his thing. It's the same thing for me with Haaland. I know he can play football. So I'm not worried about him coming in, missing a couple goals in one game. So yeah, the positives are there for me. And to me, Julian Alvarez, we don't need to sit him on the bench just because Erling Haaland is a starting striker. I think we need to
Yeah.
get him involved in the front three. The earlier, the better, because the guy is the complete deal. He's the finished article. He doesn't need to develop at City. He will get better, but he's not that type of. He's not a Kaiki. He's not a he's not a Grealish. Definitely, he can play at the highest standard, right? With these quality players around him, the Bruyne, Holland, other players that we have, the Bernardos, the Gundogans, and so on. He's going to show up. So that's my take on that.
Okay, there is Hugo, as always, very passionate and always on straight on the point, and he analyzes things very well. So, Vetter, looking at Hugo's point where he says the wingers, I'm going to stick on that because he's already, I think he's brilliantly, unless somebody has an objection, explained our preseason, and he's also explained the Community Shield and explained what he sees that is the positive and few things. But let's stick on the wingers, Vetter. What do you think with Hugo's point on the wingers? I also agree with him because I kept on saying every time they had the ball, they were cutting in. And instead of looking for the striker, they were looking to pass at De Bruyne. And then De Bruyne was passing it back to Mahrez. And Mahrez passes it back to De Bruyne. Then De Bruyne passes it back to Mahrez. And then Haaland is in the box pointing that I'm right here. And Mahrez decides to cut in, dribble, and try to kick. So maybe, what do you think yourself? Do you agree with him on the wingers?
Yeah, I agree with regards to the wingers and our midfield. I think a habit that needs to become or needs to be acquired by the players is if you get past your man, or if you have your man kind of like on your back, or you have an angle, instantly you need to be looking to see where can I put an attacking pass. I think that's what Holland's going to bring to us is like we're going to have some man advantages maybe as early as just, you know what, what Silva often does. He'll just hold the dribble and turn around and end up having the defender on his back. As soon as he does that, I think there's going to be opportunities to attack. And Holland is always going to be looking for that advantage, as well as Alvarez. That's how they're bred. That's what they look for, right? So I think us midfield as well as our wing play need to look at that. And again, it's almost like the first instinct should be, I receive the ball, let me see if I can give an attacking pass first. That's what I think that's the habit that we need to get into. And I mean, we talked about it yesterday, Patrick, on PitchPoints. I just want decisiveness. I want Grealish. I want Mahrez. Be decisive with you when you have the ball, because what defenses hate to want to do is react quickly. They want to be able to assess. So if you can put them under pressure quick. Holland's going to be that guy that's going to have them stressing out. We need to fix up and change that.
Okay, Hamza, are you still with us?
Yes, I'm with you guys. Brilliant.
So what are you looking forward to this West Ham game? Because it looks like West Ham did not weaken themselves at all. They just strengthened by buying that striker. What's his name? It starts with X. Scamacca, yeah. So what do you think yourself? Are you nervous for the first
I'm
game?
nervous a bit because West Ham's away is a very tough game, especially at the new Olympic Stadium. They're very tough there, not as bad as Upton Park, but in terms of we know last year, this is one of the games we struggled, and the key thing is to take advantage because Liverpool drew. Is to exert that pressure and panic. I think the key thing for us is we need to make sure that we get that 3 points. We become disciplined at the back. Key, don't concede silly goals that we did, like in Community Shield. We were quite good. You could see the threat that Haaland was causing he was making that run, but he was not being picked up. And that's a very good sign for a player because that's a brilliant. You can see now they think he's there. That's what they're not used to that guy over number 9 being there. Now he was making that run. I'm pretty sure that they've spoken about this before the games and say, listen, look at that run he was making. Look at that run again. So I think, and they need to make smart decisions. And I'm sorry, one particular name has to be mentioned is Mahrez. Mahrez has to play that smart decision. It's a team sport. When a great striker like Haaland is making that run, just play that beautifully. He saw him. And we do these silly little passes. Listen, we need to take advantage, especially in games where you need to win. So I have faith. Alvarez, absolutely no doubt about it. He will do well. You can see he's got the passion. He's got the desire. He's got the passion of a player that you can't teach that in a young player. And we're very lucky to have him for that price. I think playing Alvarez, yes. Playing Haaland up front, that would be something that will be very productive. Playing Foden on the other side, I think, or swapping it with Mahrez. But the key thing to us, I think we need to make it clear is today we're going with a back 4 again, and we're going to injure in case Cancelo gets injured. We're in trouble of that left back position, and I think City need to try and take advantage of signing a left back before the transfer window closes. And also probably that's probably, and this rumors of Bernard is just being annoying all City fans you can hear, and they're very annoyed about this.
What are your feelings on that Bernardo Silva? Because it looks like it's still going on.
It's annoying. It's a PR rumor from La Liga. They're desperate to get this PR of because last year we know La Liga hype went downhill. I think it's to get that name, and they've got these media reports of saying, they can sign Bernardo. Bernardo's got a 20-25-year contract. It's up to City's hands what they decide. City can decide we're not selling you this year. So it's not under Barcelona's hands. It's under Man City's hands. He's got a 3-year contract. So I'm not panicking. It's annoying. But I think the best thing is for rumors like that to be shut down. It's better that a player comes out to say something or the club says something. And the fact that the club have not been saying anything, it just creates tension amongst fan base and people keep talking about it. And the fact that the club hasn't said anything, which is classic of their style, we're not sure whether they really serious about this. And if they are, we're already 1 man down.
Hamza, but the club has spoken about it. The club has spoken about it. Right?
What have they said this week?
Well, Pep in the press conference, remember what he said about Bernardo?
He said he's happy at Man City or something like that. What did he say exactly?
He said I 100% want him to stay. But it depends on the player, if he's happy or not. But I want him 100% to stay.
So it's a player now.
But Bernardo's not going anywhere. He's not going anywhere. I'll say it again. Bernardo is not going anywhere. It makes no absolute. Next year, maybe. This year, it just makes no sense. One,
it makes no sense. There's no way I can
cannot afford Bernardo Silva. Number two, you're going to sell Bernardo with 2 weeks left in the window and then not replace him?
Absolutely no. Man City don't do that. Absolutely.
It makes no sense. It just makes no sense. So, all these guys, all these crazy burner accounts can talk all they want. I think Rashad Rahman and manager Bounce, so they can spin all they want. Bernardo can say whatever he wants to say until we get the money. If we get 150 million, yeah, sure. Give me Frankie de Jong. I'll take him. Give me Verratti. But give me 150 million. Can Barcelona pay 150, 120 million? They can't. They can't even register the players that they have right now. And you want to go pay for Bernardo Silva with 3 years left on the contract? Are you mad?
Verratti.
It's Frank Casey is not registered yet, isn't it? And Christensen and them.
None of the 7 are registered as yet. But I'm not worried about. I don't think we need to be worried about what they are doing more than so. They have a plan. So they'll get their thing worked out. Don't worry about.
I don't think City would sell unless they've confirmed a replacement already. And the longer it goes in the window, the less likely that they will sell Bernardo. So,
for me,
we have already sold Zinchenko without the direct replacement. So I don't think that mistake will be made again to back up what Karl is saying.
Regarding the left back, we've had makeshift left backs for years. So Pep isn't as worried about that as central midfield because Pep's heart is at the midfield. He doesn't play with the midfield. That's one thing I would Pep.
I mean, Smoke, if the Guardiola's come out in the press conference and said, I want him 100%, you think Cheeky are going to sell him? Yeah,
no.
And you're going to sell the player that the man wants 100% in the middle of his last year of the contract? Nah. That would be stupid on Cheeky's side. It's like Hugo. Let's say you're my manager, right? I hire you as a manager, right? You want this player 100%. You said in the press conference, and I'll go sell that player. I don't see it happening.
I agree with you. The thing that
City should continue this trend where we actually do extend a lot of contracts during the year, especially when players are playing good. I used to love seeing that. I think we need to continue that. It's about time we put. I mean, who have we extended so far? We put an extension on Mahrez, right? We put an extension on Mahrez recently. I think Bernardo needs to get one. Yeah, Bernardo needs to get an extra 2 years on his, just to put us in a strong position. It depends, though. Pep may know something that we don't know either, Karl, which is why he says depends on the happiness of the player and what the player wants. But at the same time wants the player to know that I really want you here.
Yeah.
Which is why he could say what he said.
Yeah.
You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah, I follow you.
So you have to look at it. You have to look at it kind of 2 ways. So he's always going to know more than what we know.
I mean, the reality is, at the end of the day, right? The key is Guardiola, right? Bernardo can come, Bernardo can go. Frankie can come, Frankie can go. Whoever can come and can go. The reality is, it's about Guardiola.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, think about winning the league with no striker twice in a row, getting Erling Haaland, getting Julian Alvarez. Oh, and by the way, guys, I don't want to see Grealish and Mahrez in that field today. I don't want to see any.
Same here.
I'm sorry. I don't want to see Pep do this
at the same time. You mean at the same time?
At the same time. I don't
they don't need to start today either. I mean, even. Go ahead, Karl. Go ahead. I don't want to interrupt.
No, I'm done. I'm done. Go ahead.
The thing is,
Vator spoke about Vator. It is right. Spoke about this whole thing, right? I think we're all on the same page. We have watched City week in, week out, every 3 days for quite some time now, right? And it's not surprising that we're all seeing the same thing, right? A healthy Phil Foden should not be on the bench for Jack Grealish. Facts. Good. And with this talent, Julian Alvarez, you need to get him started quicker than later, right? Sooner than later. We don't need to be having him rubbing the bench just because he isn't the starting striker. Not because Haaland is starting game in, game out we're going to put Alvarez and not give him game time. So to me, Mahrez has to work his stuff out. It's either you're going to get Haaland on the ball quicker, right, and stop this holding on to the ball thing, or you're going to rub the bench. You've done it before at City. You'll do it again. Pep Guardiola ain't going to play with these people. They're either going to come out and do what he wants, or they're going to rub the bench.
Yeah. My problem is I find it difficult whenever you have Mahrez and Cancelo playing on the opposite flanks, right? Because first, from a defensive point of view, it puts a strain on the left wing, especially if you're playing Grealish as well. Because even if you watch the Villa game, we started playing when Zinchenko came in because you had someone who could go down the line, right? You have Mahrez here, you have Grealish here, who are going to do the same thing. So they become too predictable for defenders. Whereby with Alvarez, what I like about Alvarez, he's direct, he's direct, and he runs down the channel, which stretches defenses. The thing with Mahrez and Grealish is defenders can just let you stay in front of them. They know what you're going to do. And the best you're going to get from Mahrez is probably a moment of magic where he dribbles 2 or 3 people and probably hits the post or somewhere. So I don't think Mahrez gives us the intensity we need, especially when we need momentum. Because the first 5 games, we normally start very slow because we lack that momentum. And our game is based on patterns of play. And that's one of the reasons why, at the moment, the players are struggling to play with the striker. Because our patterns of play is breaking down teams for the false 9 to make room. And when you have Haaland here now, so the players have this system that's already drilled into their heads. That you know what, we're trying to move these guys, but then you have Haaland who's used to a direct system of, okay, give me the ball, let me go at the defense and the keeper. So I think for now Mahrez is better off the bench.
I mean, Smoke,
wait, G Certified, are you here with us? Just wake up. G Certified, are you here?
Yeah, bro, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. You're too quiet. So what's your thought, man? Because I think everybody's on the same page. Because to be honest with you, the issue I had in the last game is we had 2 wingers who kept on just cutting in, and we advised, as I said multiple times, about 3 times there was a pass he could put through to Haaland, but he decided to cut in. So I don't know. It's just that I just feel like the guys are right on the panel. What's your thought? Maybe you have another thought. Maybe you think the guys are a bit harsh.
Well, on Mahrez and Grealish.
Yeah, that do you think they should play just because they're big guns, or we should go for people who are hungry right now? Because it's a game of hunger, this, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a game of hunger, but that I do want Jack Grealish. I really want Jack Grealish to really grow into the season, and the only way that he's going to grow as a player is if he plays more games. That's the only problem. I do think Phil Foden should start, definitely, but if Grealish is getting a chance, I want him to prove himself, to show that this is my spot, that I'm going to try and fight for this place. Because if Jack Grealish doesn't start fighting for his place, we're going to be doing what Chelsea just did this summer with Lukaku and Werner, and we're going to have to sell them. And that's a massive loss. So at the end of the day, we're going to have to see, not a loss as maybe as a player, but financially, that's a massive loss. You're not going to get 100 million back for Jack Grealish. You're probably not even going to get half of that. So that's the only problem. And then as for Mahrez now, I think Mahrez just had an off day, man. I think with Mahrez, man, we know he can be relied upon. We know that there is games where Mahrez is last season, big games where he always is there. Against Liverpool, he always struggles, really. Now, I don't remember many games where Mahrez has been that good against Liverpool. So I don't think the Mahrez...
Was it the FA Cup where he missed the last one? He could have put it in, but he missed it.
I'll tell you why Mahrez struggles against Liverpool. Because Robertson is quick and Mahrez likes to invert into traffic. And guess who's right there waiting for him? Virgil van Dijk. Right? If you're going to play against West Ham, against Liverpool, you have to play natural wingers. You cannot play inverted wingers because they'll set up a mid-block and you're running into traffic, 2v1 all the time. When you play natural wingers, guess what? You stretch the field and create pockets for the number 8s to fall into, De Bruyne and Bernardo. If Pep is serious about this game, do not play Grealish and Mahrez in this game. Kill this game, win this game with dynamism, with Alvarez and Foden. And then against Bournemouth next weekend at home, you can play Grealish, you can play Mahrez, right? But get this game won. because this is a hard ground to go win. If you win this game today, right, the next 4 or 5 games should be wins. Now pressure is on Liverpool, who still have to go to West Ham. Pressure's on Chelsea, who still have to go to West Ham to go win. Don't fuck around with this stuff. Go and win this game with your
Chelsea
best.
plays Spurs. Chelsea plays Spurs next week.
There you go. You know, so
Yeah,
for me,
so
that's
don't
pressure.
mess around. Play Grealish
I get
and Mahrez next weekend. Today, get your boys out there. Alvarez is the boy. He runs, he passes, he moves, he'll confuse West Ham. They don't know him. They've never played against him before. This is the first time. They've never played against Erling Haaland. Play them. Don't play Mahrez. They know Mahrez. They play me every single year. I don't know.
You know what? I think he is going to play Mahrez. If I had to predict what he's going to do, what I want to see is Alvarez on the right wing. But what I think will happen, it's going to be Mahrez and then maybe Foden on the left wing. I don't think Grealish will play, but I can see Grealish coming on because he was good against West Ham when we went away. Even though we drew 2-2, I thought when Jack Grealish grew in that second half, but I think it'll be Foden, Haaland, and Mahrez. I don't see Mahrez getting dropped for this game.
What happened to Paul Taylor's hair, man? What happened to his hair?
He cut it. Like, you can cut your hair, isn't it? You're not allowed to cut your hair.
That's just weird watching him.
Trying to look like Wayne Rooney.
That's a penalty. That's a penalty, man.
What penalty to who? Tell me to Brighton.
For Brighton.
Should've been a
Yeah.
penalty,
Yeah, nowhere near the ball. He just budges him from the back.
Since we're here anyway, we're waiting for the lineup. It's gonna drop in a few minutes. We're gonna just do a prediction lineup anyway. But can I ask something? Just go to United. I know some people don't, but just for us to give a small comment. I'll start with you, Hugo. Do you think? Because for me, I think it was a mistake to keep Maguire captain. But I think this guy could have been evil and ruthless, like what Pep did. Tell the keeper, I'm getting you a new keeper who can play football. Because I was watching the game for a few minutes there. The guy cannot pick a pass to save himself. So why wasn't he ruthless from the beginning? Like, there's keepers out there who are good with their feet. I don't know what's going on. Like, and you give the captain badge to Maguire.
The thing is just right. What I appreciate about Pep is he understands if you want to change a team like immediately, you need to be radical with your decisions. Anyone who knows if you go into any organization where there's a toxic culture, you can't be passive. You need to make radical decisions if you want immediate results. And the fact that Ten Hag couldn't do that, it showed that he lacked the backbone to make an immediate... Look at Conte. What I appreciate about Conte is a guy who understands his value. He's like, I'm here for a short amount of time. And if we're going to work together, this is the plan. You have to be fully done with my program, 100% or I'm out. Because he cares about his reputation.
To add to what Don Smoke's saying, Manchester United has backed themselves into a corner when it comes to their English players. That's their biggest problem. They're afraid to drop their English players more than any other player, and that's what's saving Harry Maguire. First of all, he should not have been captain in the first place, right? And now they're trying to. It's like back. They're trying to relive the Ferguson era, and they're not gonna be able to do it. It's just not gonna happen. So Smoke is spot on. Ten Hag needs to do his thing. He's a fantastic manager, right? Whoever it is that is telling him, because it has to be that the pressure is coming from somewhere. You understand? Nobody at City is gonna tell Pep Guardiola, hey, you wanna drop Kevin De Bruyne tomorrow morning for some reason. You wanna drop Ederson for some reason tomorrow morning. You wanna drop whoever, right? Nobody's gonna tell Pep Guardiola you cannot do that. Now, I think there are people at Manchester United who've been telling the managers from David Moyes' time that you gotta play these players. You understand? And they need to cut it out. I don't know if it's Alex or whoever. Well, it doesn't really matter to me if they wanted to keep doing it or not. You understand? I really want to see Liverpool out of the top 4 this year. You understand? A lot of people might think I'm talking crazy, but let me tell you something.
No,
I heard Karl talking just now about cutting in from what's his name, Robertson, and then looking at Van Dijk. Look here, if we unleash Alvarez on them, he'll make Van Dijk look like he's a schoolboy all day, every day. Okay? Because Van Dijk is done. Van Dijk is done. He can't tackle. He knows how to read the game.
Yeah.
Read the game. But a skillful player, right? That's why Gabriel Jesus will always give them problems, right? Because he can cut in and out and he keeps them thinking. You get what I'm saying? And it's the same thing with this guy Alvarez, right? So I mean, as long as Pep has the ammunition, the squad is a very good squad. I'm not worried about who left, right? Because I love what came in. Haaland, Alvarez, Phillips giving us the option now, so Roger can get some rest sometimes. I think we have a very good squad.
Phillips, Hugo. We all forget that we got Phillips, man. It's weird, eh?
Yeah, I realize that. I realize that a lot of people haven't been talking about this guy. This guy is a big motor. He can get up and down, right? Yo, Phillips will score goals too. And I saw that Roger added that to his game last season. Those goals when Roger popped up, look, they were immense.
A bit of news before I go to Vator. A bit of news. Josh Wilson Esbrand and Rico Lewis are with the first team and they've just arrived this afternoon. Because people, when the academy, remember what I said, Karl? I said this Lewis, that right back. If you look at the skilled, Pep should have been licking his lips because that kid, what he just did within a few minutes, Pep should have said, you know what, this kid I'm keeping. So Lewis is with the first team because people were asking, where is Lewis? So Vator, obviously, yourself, you can hear what the other guys have said, what they're looking for. What are you looking for? Because you haven't told us what you're looking for. You've been quiet for a while, smiling. And I know you're watching the United game, but I know
you know what?
Because I can see from your face that he's enjoying somebody else's downfall there. That's what you're looking at. So what do you think, especially, okay, let's talk about Josh Wilson Esbrand and Rico Lewis. Were you impressed with him when he came on in the preseason? Rico?
Yeah, I was impressed with the two of them because they were right in the flow of the game.
What a miss from Rashford.
They were right in the flow of the game when they played in the preseason, and it's the thing that we talked about before too. You can tell that what they're doing in the academy, what they're doing at their level, is so ingrained with what's consistent in Manchester City. So they come in and they don't lose a beat. They're on rhythm with the flow of the game and with what the other teammates are doing, and they look to be able to contribute, and deservingly so, to be amongst the first team. So I love that they're now listed with the first team. Now the question is, do they get on the pitch? And do they start? Or do they get subbed on relatively early within the match? Those are the things that we need to look at, because it's the actual in-game experience that allows us as fans, obviously for them and the coaching staff, to trust in them. It's no different than when, we all had our doubts with regards to Nathan Ake at times. But when Nathan Ake was getting, a few games critical in the season and was stepping up and played out, we're like, you know what? Hey, I don't have my doubts with you anymore. You can, you starting, I'm not worrying about you. And I think that's what we're gonna have to give these two youngsters too. Esbrand, what we saw in the preseason, it's like, yeah, he needs to stay, but we want another body.
Are you comfortable though, 100%? And I'm going to ask the rest of the panel also. Are you comfortable with Diaz and Ake? Because I've noticed that when Diaz and Ake play together, right, they can defend, but the thing is, they can't pass the ball as good as Laporte and John Stones. It looks like something is missing. It looks like they're not comfortable on the ball. Yeah. I don't know. So would you be comfortable to go for that? That's a good center back pairing.
It's not our ideal. Sorry. It's not our ideal center back pairing, because they really don't complement each other the way we've seen Laporte and Stones complement those two, right? So I would label those two as like the least comfortable or least skilled with regards to distribution. But you pair them with anyone else and you kind of have that dynamic of, okay, here's how we're going to have proper buildup, and here's who's going to be the battle ram to break up play or to go in for the tackles. So if it happens to be those two, I'm not ecstatic. Will they get the job done? Yes, but it's not going to be pretty.
Don't smoke.
I think Gundo summarized it best yesterday, right? When he was explaining, when you look at pairings under Pep, right? You always have a ball-playing center back and a blocker. Even in his great Barca team, he had Piqué and Puyol, right? Piqué wasn't the best defensively, but he was the better of the ball playing, right? Where Puyol is to assist Piqué, right? Whereby if you saw Stones and Diaz, that was perfect because you had that similar kind of thing. Whereby Diaz is more of the physical presence, whereby he will basically break anything. Whereby or even Laporte or Stones, they help us build up. And whenever one of them is missing, you see a difference whereby teams press us higher. Notice the teams, the press of teams when the different pairings are playing. You see that whenever we have Stones or Laporte, teams don't press us as high as when we have, because they know that these guys are press resistant and they're going to bypass the press. Because the moment we bypass the press, it is Rodri is already involved. And what's worse is when these are playing, Rodri has to come a bit deeper so he can assist and they create a triangle, right? So which actually slows us down because you want Rodri to have the ball much higher up the pitch, So Bernardo and De Bruyne Gundogan also don't have to come in. So our build-up play gets affected and we are easier to press when the other two are playing. That doesn't mean that they're not good defensively, but it affects how we attack or build up as a team.
Also, Patrick, I missed out to comment on this earlier, but when you guys were talking about Manchester United and Ten Hag and dropping players, there's the board, right? There's the board on what they want, but then there's also the accountability and the manager that I don't care what you guys are going to say in the press. This is my decision, and our manager can do that. Our manager can say KDB is not starting. Our manager can say, Holland, you're not starting. The questions don't go anywhere else but to him, and he'll deal with it and squash it. The confidence that's needed for a manager like that, I don't believe Ten Hag has it. There's not many managers out there that have it. So if he wanted to drop Maguire, if he really wanted to drop Maguire and didn't because of other pressures, that's already a problem at Manchester United. And that's another reason why this rebuild or reset or whatever they're going to try to do isn't going to work, because it needs to be with one person. It needs to be with the manager. So you're right. I was enjoying some of the drama that's happening in the match right now, but I'm here with you.
Well, just a question. It's just a wild one. As we wait for the lineup, does anyone think by any means that with the 5 subs, we'll see majority of Pep's system change? Let's say, for instance, we're winning a game and it's tight, and then you see Phillips going into the pitch with Rodri. Hugo, do you see it's going to change? Like, let's say with the 5 subs, he starts off with Rodri, right? And when it's a tight game, you throw in Phillips. Are we going to be seeing a lot of change of tactics?
I don't think rule changes unless they actually affect the way we play, like tactically or something like that, would affect how Pep approaches games. So being that it's just something like subs, I don't think he's gonna, because sometimes Pep will have his 3 subs and he doesn't change anybody. Why? Because he's gonna start those guys the other game anyway. I don't think we are gonna use the 5 subs the way other clubs probably will, because we do a more heavy rotation. Those clubs, they try to play the same people game in, game out, right? So for them, maybe they have to get their usual 11 happy in the first half an hour, first 60 minutes of each game, and then get the bench players that they want to get some games, a half an hour or something like that. But I think with Pep, our players are comfortable not getting any game at all for one game, because they know, hey, we might just be starting the other game, depending on the game plan or whatever. So I don't think it's going to force Pep's hand too much. One other thing I'd want to add, though, coming from a question that you had asked before about Esbrand and Rico Lewis, I'm really expecting some great things from Palmer this year. We were only talking about Alvarez coming in and giving Mahrez a run for his money on the right side. I think Palmer has really been blossoming. He's been growing very well, and I'd love to see that continue. I really love to see that continue. I think it's more important for us right now to get a player like Palmer some game time than because we're gonna lose some money on some people. I hear we saying, well, boy, we want Jack to be doing well, but if it's gonna come at a cost of losing games, then I'm not for it.
Yeah, that's another one. Yeah, go ahead, Don. We haven't spoken about Don. We haven't actually spoken about Palmer. We've been keeping quiet on Palmer.
I was about to get to. I agree with Hugo in the point that we're actually one of the most rotated squads in the league, right? If we have a very fluid front line, and the places we normally don't rotate that much, but it's normally in midfield. So hence, I don't see it normally affecting us, because if you look at your Liverpool, your Liverpool, your even Spurs, you can predict the front three almost every game. So teams like that, those players might need a rest because they're going to be playing matches consecutively. Whereby with us, we normally fluid. Whereby even us City fans, it's hard to predict a lineup. And if I ask you who's going to play the third game, who's the front three, you'll be guessing, right? So, and even with Pep normally does subs in the wide areas because Pep doesn't want to disrupt the rhythm of the midfield. Because at the end of the day, Pep is all about control. He wants, okay, if these players are playing well, let them get into that momentum so they can give us control. Because as we've spoken before, we defend with the ball, right? And the more of the ball we have, the better we are defensively. If you look at most of the times when we're shaky, it's when we don't have possession, right? Because then now the guys are trying to get in, okay, what do we do now? So, and Pep also protects the youngsters. If you look at his history, because Pep doesn't want to put pressure on these kids because he understands that you don't want to break these kids' confidence. Because when you're young, it's all about confidence. As much as you may have the ability, confidence and belief that, no, you know what? So now if he exposes you and you have a shock and you lose a game based on your mistake, it might affect how you play going forward. So hence Pep normally throws players in wide areas. That's why you saw like a Makati playing left back. It's done intentionally because he knows he's protecting you that side. Like even if you do mistakes, you have your DM who can cover you and make that. So I see Palmer getting much more game time because last season it was the injury that prevented him. Because when Torres left, the fact that the reason we didn't buy cover was because Pep had belief in Palmer stepping in, right? So this season I expect him to get a bigger role. Even Esbrand, Pep every now and again he'll throw you into the deep end just to see if you have the balls because Pep loves players who have courage. Okay, although you're 18, are you brave enough to demand the ball in a tight space? Are you brave enough to make a run? And you see, Pep notices these small things. Even if you watch his documentaries, he tells you, I can see who's running away from, who's hiding from the ball, right? And who's demanding. And he makes decisions based on that. So I feel as if the kids here, you just need to be patient because you must understand that the people ahead of you are world-class players. They all start for their countries, most of them. So it's not like there's bums or there's favoritism. No. It's a matter of Pep is slowly integrating you. That by the time you get into the first team,
Bernardo's on the bench. Sorry.
Yes.
Bernardo's on the bench.
The lineup is out.
Somebody just tweeted Bernardo on the bench today.
I think it's Gundo starting. To be probably KDB and Gundo.
Is that your victory dance, Karl?
I told you now, Patrick. I told you.
Yeah, but that doesn't even give me positivity. I am starting to think that. Remember that joke said by Laporta when they're playing the charity game, and he says, "Is Bernardo going to be playing?" And then he laughs, ha ha ha.
Patrick, I couldn't care less.
I've got the team, by the way, guys. I've got the team.
Let me post the team. Let me look for it and post the team.
Yeah. Foden was playing right wing. I think Foden's on right wing.
Foden and Grealish.
Yeah.
Diaz and Ake, guys.
Diaz and Ake, all right.
Yeah.
I don't like Diaz and Ake, man. I don't know.
Yeah, we have to be, I think it's Stones.
Yo, what is this lineup, man? Yo,
but
the lineup?
I predicted the midfield.
The lineup
I told you that against a low block.
Oh, we see it now.
Bernardo.
Right.
Oh, here's the lineup. Okay.
Do not play Bernardo. You don't need Bernardo against a low block.
I agree with him starting Gundogan though.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. I completely agree. You don't want to play Bernardo against a low block. You play him against Liverpool because of the work rate. But against a low block, you need somebody who can make a difference in the pockets, which is Gundogan. Remember the
You
Villa game?
realize something here, Karl? You realize though what he's done? He's actually benched the one who we thought, boy, he benched Mahrez and plays Grealish.
Yeah, I didn't
Instead
see
of
Mahrez
benching
start.
Grealish and starting Mahrez.
I don't mind that. I don't mind that because at least
We've never actually seen Foden and Jack. I've never seen that before. This is the
That's
first
what
time
happens.
we'll have Foden and Jack.
You know what I like about Grealish, right? As much as he hasn't done much, Grealish drives with the ball, right, which pushes defenses back. Where Mahrez tries to just always cut in, right? Because Grealish is a bit unpredictable because he can go down the byline or he can go inside. However, with Mahrez, you know what he's gonna do. So with the team that's sitting, I don't think you want Mahrez for 90 minutes because
What's with John Stones again? Has Pep set him back again to where he has to fight again for his position? Because come on, it looks like he's now third to fourth option.
No, it's just
nothing
fitness.
much fitness.
Just
much
fitness.
Yeah. Fitness.
Just match fitness.
And Grealish and Foden played together against Brighton. Do you remember when Foden set it up Grealish and he scored?
Oh, that's true. That's true, Hamza. That's true.
Oh yeah, they did. Yeah, Foden was the right hand side, isn't it? So I'm gonna start with you, Vator. What do you think of the lineup? Then I'll move to Don, then Gundo, then Karl. Your own opinion. Be free. If you hate something in this lineup, don't hide. Don't be scared. Go ahead. What do you think of the lineup?
I didn't look at the fine print with regards to subs, but I'm going to tell you guys what I saw in the Community Shield. I thought it was going to be very similar to that for this first match, and the reason why is just continuity. Pep wanting to have maybe the same 11 play together and establish a rhythm. The fact that he made these changes, I'm not upset about it at all. I am a little hesitant to believe that West Ham's going to play low block because would they kick off the season like that at home? You know what I mean? Like
that's what they've been doing though. They counter attack the big teams. They sit back and counter attack you. That's what they do.
Counter attack, yeah, but to play a low block, I don't know. But if it is for me as a test, I want to see it because let's all assume that most teams are going to want to defend us this way. So to start the season off, we've got our weapons. We've got Haaland in the middle. Let's see how we handle it. Let's see how we do it early in the season because that'll bode well confidence-wise moving forward. But how they match up player-wise, I'm not upset with that. Gundogan starting, okay. He's that ghost out there. So breaking things down, getting in positions to score, probably being best in tune to maybe get the ball to Haaland as well is going to be good to see. And again, like we've said earlier, Grealish for me has to be decisive. I want a decisive Grealish, even if his decision is wrong. I want a decisive one because when he is putting pressure on the defense, I think good things can happen. I'm not mad at this 11.
What about Don Smoke?
I think with Stones is over the past seasons he's been a bit injury prone, right? So Pep is looking at the whole season, right? He's like, okay, how am I going to manage this guy? Because at the end of the day, you don't want to rush in your players at non-key moments of the season, right? Because they can be a relapse, and then what? And Laporte is already injured, so it's more like he has to try and manage the workload. Because I expect a rotation maybe in the next 3 to 5 games of the two center back pairings. Regarding the front line, right? I think this is better than Grealish and Mahrez, because Foden, yeah, it's the thing with I agree with Vator. Grealish has the ability to give us what we're looking for. It's just a matter of does he have the courage or is he brave enough to risk losing the ball in order to do that, right? And I expect this season for him to take more risk than last season, because last season it's more like, okay, I don't want to be that guy whereby I flopped and it's because of us, right? Regarding the midfield, I expect this, especially for the kind of team we're versing. Bernardo is good against a team that will run a lot, and that's very intense. I don't expect that from West Ham. The thing with West Ham is they have a decision, right? Should we entertain our crowd and risk getting spanked? Or because the thing is, if West Ham decides to play and we score an early goal within 10-15 minutes, we're gonna blitz them. That's the reality, and they know that. So for them, I think it's that decision they have to make. So this lineup has the tool, but I expect West Ham to press us higher, knowing that we have Diaz and Ake, and they're not the greatest of the centre backs on the ball. So I expect Rodri to drop in a bit to assist in the build-up, which may slow us down a bit, and you might see more passes than we may have to make. But
okay, what about yourself, Karl?
Yeah, for me, I mean, I just didn't want to see Mahrez and Grealish at the same time, but having Foden there, I'm happy. But I think what will end up happening is that you may see, De Bruyne drift out to the right, Foden drop to the middle. You see a lot of rotation between that front five. That's what you see. My biggest worry is just having Ake and Diaz. That's my biggest worry. It's time for Jack to step up. If Jack doesn't step up this game, he's done for me. I'm sorry. If he doesn't step up this game, forget it. He's not starting. He shouldn't start. This may be his last chance to show that he's a player that we think he is. If he doesn't step up this game, it's going to be Alvarez and Foden going on, because we just can't carry any passengers. We just can't. So
okay, so Don't Smoke out to go. Goodbye and shout out to you, Don't Smoke. What about yourself, Hugo? What? How do you feel about this lineup? You didn't want Mahrez. Mahrez is not here. Majority of us didn't want him. He's on the bench. So Foden, obviously, there was an article saying he's gonna play as a right winger a lot this season. So it looks like it's happening. So go ahead. What do you think of the lineup yourself? Are you satisfied, or you could have put somebody else?
Okay. From preseason, when I heard that Gundogan, Stones, and Foden were gonna be in Europe with the young guys, I said, I'm not gonna put much on Grealish and Mahrez being the starters in that preseason, playing the Club America game and the Bayern Munich game. I really knew that Foden had to get his space back. You understand? Coming in, I didn't know whether he was gonna sacrifice Mahrez or Grealish. I thought Mahrez being the more seasoned player, but maybe Pep still wants to have some strength on the bench. So we can't look at it just one way. But I expected at least two of those three players that were in Europe to join up with the team for us to have the best team that we have. Maybe right now Stones isn't at his best, so I can understand why he'll stick with Ake, because Ake is improving, right? And I pretty much saw the lineup being like it is now, because you can't play these big games, because no matter who you play, the first game is a big game. You can't play big games like this and be sitting Gundogan. You understand? We gotta start him. I hope Bernardo isn't on his way out because he's being benched today. I hope he doesn't think that, hey, first game of the season and whatever, because players, if they're not happy, they'll go. I think we're gonna need all of those players. And Palmer, I don't think we spoke a lot about Palmer today, but he's on the bench. Look for him if we're gonna make more than those 3 subs for today, which I don't think we will. We probably would see somebody like Palmer getting a few minutes. I don't know. Let's see. But I like the lineup. I like that Gundogan is in especially, and I like that Foden is in.
What about you, G Certified? Are you satisfied by the lineup?
I don't know. I don't know, man. It's a weird. I wasn't expecting it, man. Like I wasn't expecting this team. With me, I'm happy with Bernardo. Yeah, that is a little bit of. I wasn't expecting to see Bernardo dropped. I don't know why, and I don't think it's anything to do with fitness, because we know that guy is probably, when it comes to fitness, he's probably number 1 on our team. That guy runs every match. Wherever Sunday, Wednesday, he can run 14K per match. So I don't think it's anything to do with fitness. I don't know. The Bernardo thing is a little bit of a worrying sign. But with Pep, he's always been this guy that's always been a centre-back changer. Like every season, we're changing centre-back pairings. 17-18, we started coming on Mendy. Then this following season, it was Laporte Stones. Then the season after that was Otamendi Stones. Then the season after that was Diaz Stones, until it was Laporte and Diaz. So I'm not surprised if Ake now gets his place. And this is going to start. If Ake, let's say, has a good couple of games, and let's say even when Laporte comes back next month, if Ake is playing really well, he will stay in the team. So I know Pep's a big fan of this change in centre backs, but I don't think every time Ake plays next to Cancelo, for me, it's a worrying sign. You know, whenever I see those two playing next to each other, because I think that defensively, that place is going to be the weakness where people are going to target that left side, and I think that's my only concern, because Cancelo is going to go up a little bit, and then he's gonna leave him isolated, and then you're gonna be left. So that's my only problem. But Foden right wing, I mean, I've seen him for England playing right wing, and he never really does anything at right wing. So, and that's something that we've said about Gareth Southgate, is not playing him on right wing because he's better on the left. So I don't know how this right thing.
There are two things certified, right? Two things. Number one, about Foden on the right. Remember the game against Liverpool, the 4-1? Where did Foden play when he came in? Played on the right, destroyed the team. Remember the game against Villa in the Carabao Cup final 2 years ago? Where did he play? On the right. So it depends on your opposition. With Bernardo Silva not playing, I'm not surprised. Martin says, I'm not surprised at all. I predicted this would happen. You know why? Because against a low block, Bernardo is utterly useless for us. Now, against a Liverpool, against a Chelsea, against a high-pressing team in the Champions League, yes, Bernardo can run around and do what he needs to do. Against PSG, great. But against a low-block English team, you want to have Ilkay Gundogan there because he knows how to work in low blocks in the pockets. Remember the game against Aston Villa? He scored 2 goals from where? From the pockets. That's what he does. Bernardo had to be taken off in that game for Gundogan. So it didn't. And Patrick would tell you this. We had a good debate all week about this, right, Patrick? Am I right or am I wrong?
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you were very adamant that this game doesn't need Bernardo Silva. That Bernardo Silva is not going to be as great. No. So, Karl, there is the opposition team, not changed exactly same team that played us last time. Fabianski, as always, Cafu, Zuma, Criswell, Johnson, Rice, Suchek, Lanzini. Lanzini never played. I hate Lanzini. He's very skilled. Bowen, who caused this trouble last time, Fornels, and Antonio, who also caused this trouble. So that's who they're playing. I know Zuma is a defender. Cresswell, I know he's a fullback. Johnson must be the other defender, because I heard the other defender is injured. What's his name? The best defender. What? I forgot his name, but he's injured. He's not in. So that's the team that they're playing against us with.
You know what? I think that left side is going to be attacked. Like we know the left side is going to be attacked. So
by Bowen.
By Bowen, yeah. So we know that him and Antonio are probably going to try and gain some advantages on that side. So it's not surprising. It's going to be interesting to see how Rice and Susek, manage in that midfield, and it's going to be a good chess match, I think.
Let's not
so what's the goal? What's the goal prediction then?
Let's not forget.
Go ahead, Karl.
Let's not forget that when we played them last time, Fernandinho was centre back and he got killed time and time again.
Oh yeah, he was.
Don't forget that, guys. Right? So the pressure was on us to win that game or not lose that game, because it was the game before the end of the season. So it changes the dynamic. West Ham have never beaten us in the past 5 years in the Pep era in 90 minutes. 5-0, 4-0, 0-1, 0-0. So I think we should be confident that if we play our game, we take our chances, we should win this game. I don't see us winning this game.
So what's your score prediction?
Me? I'm doing 4-1 City.
Okay, very strong. What about yourself, Hugo?
3 or 4-0.
Okay. Certified?
I'm going to say 3-1 or 2-0. I just think that I'm looking at the West Ham team, and I think it's Ogbonna or Dawson, the centre-back you were talking about, missing for West Ham. Yeah, I think I'm looking at Creswell could be a target. Maybe he could be a target. I don't know how good he is at centre-back. I know he's played there many times before, but Creswell is somebody we can target next to Johnson. But I like Johnson. I think Johnson's a good defender for West Ham, but I think that's maybe the left side is where we can target them. But yeah, Zuma's there. Basically what I would expect, as long as we can mark out that Bowen and not get him in, because it was him that killed our team the last time. I know it was Zinchenko and I think it was Laporte on that side. But and I know Laporte was probably playing with an injury, so it wasn't even a full fit Laporte. But yeah, that guy last time, he really did. That left side of ours, it got destroyed by Bowen, so we just gotta hope that he doesn't do that. And hopefully Edison as well. He's going to be needed for shot stopping. If they go through, hopefully he can make him. He doesn't let us down, and I know he can make those saves. And yeah, because I know if he doesn't have a good game, Edison will be getting a lot of hate, from some of our fans. And but I rate Edison, man.
Yeah, good. What about yourself, Vator?
Man, it's gonna be an interesting match. I think I'm seeing like a 3-1.
That's what I'm talking about. This.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead. Be confident, guys. I'm loving this confidence. Go ahead.
I'm seeing a 3-1, and the reason why I've been fiending for this football, man, is because, like all of us, we want to see what Holland does. We want to see how this team chooses to defend against us and the different options now that Pep's going to want to execute. I think it's going to be a great chess match, because again, with Rice out there, we know a lot of the spotlight is going to be put on him too. Let's see how he matches up against us and how this midfield deals with this potential low block that's coming at us.
Okay, cool. So I'm also going to the same thing. I'm going to 3-1 though. So that's it from us, guys. If you want to sub to Vator's channel, the link is below. PitchPoints, the link is below. Thank you very much, Hugo Certified. Everybody, guys. I hope we do very well today. And the guys are very confident, so we will do very well. Everybody's going for 3. I'm going to 3-1. Because I always find West Ham find a way to score 1 in, but I'm just going for a 3-1 today. So guys, that's everything. Thank you, guys. See you for the match reaction and even the season expectation show. That's going to be later. So peace.
Well done, Patrick.